The Witcher was one of the TV shows releasing in 2019 that I had a lot of hope for. Netflix had not marketed the show very heavily, so I was a bit worried that they did not have a lot of hope in it. But the show is finally here, and I am very excited to finally discuss it because I am a huge fan of the games. I had held off playing them for years, and I did regret not giving them enough attention. Plus, the novels the game and the show now are based off of were fantastic. I have not read all of them, but it is definitely on my list to do so. So today I am going to be discussing The Witcher Season 1 on Netflix. I'll just tell you, I really enjoyed this show, but it is not without its flaws. For a general overview of the show, it is based around Geralt of Rivia, one of the final Witchers played by an amazing actor, Henry Cavill. I think they nailed the casting for him. I really was a little bit skeptical at the beginning. I did not think that he was going to be exactly what we imagined, but he is fantastic. And other main characters in the show are, of course, the infamous sorceress Yennefer and Princess Ciri, who have all found their destinies tied together. You do get a small taste of Triss, though not really enough for fans to be excited about. While a lot of the casting is good, really good, such as Ciri, Geralt, and I do quite like Yennefer, they really missed the mark for me on Triss. I'm not saying the actress they chose was bad or that she's not attractive, but she looks nothing like the ginger-haired, freckled, kissed by fire Triss that we know, and I feel like a lot of us have come to love because of the games, because the games did her so much justice. I personally like their choices for Yennefer, where a lot of other people don't. Even though she isn't exactly the same as the book canons, I think that the actress did a fantastic job, and Yennefer is a more difficult role to play, and I think that she just was overall a really good choice, maybe one of the best choices that they had. If you are going into The Witcher blind, though, you may be a bit confused as to the world in which the show takes place, but also what Witchers are and how their universe works. They do a decent job at describing the world and also what Witchers are, who the important characters are, and you will be able to understand what is going on, though I do think that you would enjoy it more if you were a fan of the material it is based off of. It does struggle a little bit like a lot of shows do, since there's so much information that they have to give to you in the first two or so episodes because they have to tell you it for contextual purposes. I do think that the pacing for this show is just a little bit off though. This is actually a show that I rewatched twice since half of the season seems a bit disjointed until you get to the end where everything comes together. Where Yennefer, Ciri, and Geralt start the show, they are in 3 different time periods, and then by the end of the first season, they are practically all together, but they do not do a good job at telling you that. You figure out eventually that it is 3 different time periods with dialogue and props, though it could have been explained much better, but it was a fantastic choice to do so, since now you can really see the backstory and who the characters are and how their destinies are intertwined. That also added in a lot of context, and I'm sure that it wasn't easy to put so many years of material into one season that would draw people in for yet another season. I personally think that this show, though, should have been 10 to 12 episodes for this reason. Most of the season you are watching their individual stories and not all 3 of them together, and I really wanted to see them together. Now, I think that a lot of the show looks amazing. Their sets look stunning, and some of the panning shots they have in this show are completely breathtaking, but some of it just does not look good. They have a rumored $70 million budget for this show, and you can really tell where that money went, but the CGI was pretty bad, and I do not think that it looks awful, though the creatures looked very bland, and some of the armor, such as the Nilfgaardians, looked terrible. I do not like the ballsack armor. Not a fan at all. That is exactly what it looks like. I know with some of the original trailers and the original concept arts, a lot of people were very skeptical. They did not like it, and even though you do not get a whole lot of zooming in shots on it, since a main thing with this show is that they're showing you how large their armies are, when it zooms in, it just looks awful. I do not know if that is because of the budget, obviously, but they have a huge budget for this show, and you can really tell that they missed the mark on that. I do think that the costumes, though, for characters such as Geralt's, Yennefer's, the Queen's, all look breathtaking, but you can really tell where they rushed. I still enjoyed the series visually. I did also want to note that I have listened to the soundtrack basically on repeat. Toss a Coin to Your Witcher is an amazing song, and the singer and actor that they chose for Jaskier did a fantastic job. I cannot wait to see more of him in season 2. Overall, I really enjoyed season 1 of The Witcher. I think that Netflix really stuck to the source material here when it comes to the faction conflict, which was very well set up, the mannerisms of the characters, which are great, but also how complex the story truly is. They definitely could have dumbed it down for normal audiences, and they could have made it simpler for audiences to understand, but as a fan of The Witcher, this show really captivated me, and I am definitely looking forward to season 2. I do, of course, hope that they change a couple of things. I don't think they will change the Nilfgaardian armor, but I do hope that they fix, of course, some of the CGI. I do hope that they fix the pacing just a little bit, but since we are all in one time period now, we do not have the 3 conflicting time periods that you're trying to follow along with, I do think that it will come across easier. But if you enjoyed this video and this review, please make sure to give it a like and share it, and of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have you watched The Witcher? Are you planning to watch The Witcher? Or is it just not a show for you? But I hope that you all enjoyed, and I will talk to you again in the next video really soon.